Well, welcome everybody. It's the UpViral Co-Pilot Show. I am your host, Mitch. Today on this side or on this side, whichever way you see it, I have Danny from the UpViral team who's got a what? Special announcement.
New feature for you. New
Yay!
great game-changing feature. Hello, everyone.
Hi. I don't even have the chat open yet. That's how bad I am today. Ah! Kiki's here. Welcome, Kiki.
Hello.
I know there's more than Kiki out there. There's Daniel and Dory and Gabriel. Do you remember? You probably don't know anything about it. What was that show? I'm never going to get this one right. Anyway, so we do have to cut this one short today. So you guys are in for a special treat because Danny is here going to talk about our new wonderful special new feature. But we also have to get out of here so that our good friend William can do another thing on this same channel. Well, it's a different channel, but on their Zoom.
On our Zoom.
Yes, on your Zoom. So we got to cut this short. But anyway, so Danny, let's get going.
Yeah, so we have a real game-changing feature. It's great for beginners because it makes it way easier, just like light years easier. If you stumble into UpViral, see everything for the first time, you will have less confusion now. And for pros, there's also, it's also a real game changer because it opens up like entirely new ways on how you can use UpViral in your business. It's like, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, maybe I just, do you want to start, Mitch?
No. You're the guy here. I have been beta testing this, so I give it my thumbs up.
You like it? You like it?
Oh, it's going to change many things. I'm fooling with my monitor over here because it keeps popping on and off. I don't know.
Okay, then let's jump right into it. So I'm going to share my screen. So is my Chrome browser with UpViral visible? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I created here, maybe I show it in a different way.
Okay. So maybe are you going to
still
tell
have
us what
an
it's
old campaign
called?
Somewhere? No, I don't tell it now. I just tell
okay.
you what. Maybe this is an old campaign and you can still see it. Oh yeah, it's an old one. Yes. So maybe any one of you, or probably most of you, knows this thing here up there. So that's the thing that if you create a campaign, first thing you have to do is to choose whether do you want to have a campaign hosted by UpViral, so-called landing page campaign, or whether you want to have it as a widget on your site. So we want
What's
to
a
embed
widget?
it. And that's the thing that you embed into your campaign.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, "What's a widget?" when they get here. So
yeah,
good move. All right.
So if anyone has a good name for a widget, feel free to share. We always love improvements. So you have to decide between these two things here. You can either do this or this, but you cannot do both. So if you have created a campaign, it was always hosted by UpViral. And if you later would have thought, yeah, maybe I want to also integrate it into my page because I maybe have an existing online shop and I want to have the campaign there as well, or whatever, then this was not possible. And now this is possible. Yeah. So now every campaign you create is a campaign that is hosted by UpViral. So you don't have to do anything with embedding, whatever. Every campaign is hosted by UpViral. So you can immediately, with that beautiful link here up there, open it. There you go. I go to a campaign that is running right now.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Helmut in the chat, who gave you a new name for the widget. He called it the UpVidget.
Ah, Okay. I mean, the name is nice, but I don't know whether this will solve the confusion though.
with a V, right? It's a widget. It's an up widget.
Okay, if you click on that little thing here, you go, this is the campaign URL of the hosted campaign, and you see it's already live. And it's always live as a hosted campaign. And now on top of that, you can also implement it into your page.
So it is now, I want to make sure people understand this because some people just got scared.
Wait a second. I also made a beautiful sketch that we can explain that easier. So we have on top the campaign that is hosted by Viral. It's just a page, nothing else. You have your opt-in page and your share page. Everything is hosted by Viral. Super easy. You just create your campaign and it's hosted. And on top of that, you can now decide to also embed it into your page. And then it looks like that. You have the page around. And inside somewhere, you have your little rectangle with the campaign inside. And now some more words from you. Mitch, you want to add something?
That's fine. So, but I want to be clear because some people just panicked because what you said was every campaign is hosted by UpViral and they instantly went, but wait, I have a widget. I like my widget. I don't want to do it on UpViral. The key is that you can do both, right? You can do it both ways if you want to.
And we never took a widget away. So if you have a widget implemented somewhere, it stays there.
Correct. So nothing went away. We didn't take anything away from you. What we did was we added extra flexibility to your life. Helmet asks, is it embedded with an iframe? No, it's not an iframe. The widget embed is still the same embed that you had before.
Yeah, nothing changed.
It used to be that you had to pick one or the other. You couldn't do both on a single campaign. Now UpViral's just taken that away and your campaign is automatically both if you want both. It's only hosted if you only want it hosted. It's only a widget if you only want it as a widget, but you can do both simultaneously. And that does open up a whole lot more avenues. Pat says, hosted on UpViral can also do a custom domain. You can always do a custom domain, even with a widget. You could do a custom domain, even with a widget. So many people don't understand that. Custom domain, absolutely. Nothing's changed in custom domains. Absolutely nothing has changed, except now you get the ability to do both things simultaneously. So let's give an example. Are you going to do an example? I'll give an example.
Give an example.
Well, all right. So let's suppose you create an UpViral hosted campaign, which of course is default at this point. And you also have a store. And on your store, you want to have the widget or the opt-in that says, hey, we have a contest going on. Let me put a widget on the store, and that leads them to, once they click the enter button, that takes them to the sharing page, which can also be either a widget or hosted. So you've got this major flexibility going on right now where you can mix and match, which has never happened before. It's one of the things I've always been begging for, was the ability to have multiple ways of creating the opt-in side or even the sharing side of things. And what we now have is total flexibility.
So you can send all your ads here, for example, all your ads traffic, if you have ads, or all your initial subscribers from the emails.
You have a pen
on top of that.
You're not using your mouse for that, right? You're using a pen.
No, I have a pen here.
Okay, good.
No, I'm just very good with the mouse. And then on top of that, you can not only do it in 2 pages, you can also do it in a third one as well, right?
Yes.
So that's also really great. And what you can do on top of that is you can decide that this should be a standard embed. that this is like inside the page. And then you can decide, okay, I want to have this one as a pop-up. That's also possible.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Freaking amazing. Jeff,
let's jump real quick into the questions. Yeah,
I've got it. I got it. Jeff wants to know, so if I have an existing campaign, will I be able to use both, or is it only for new campaigns?
Right now, it's only for new campaigns, but we will get to that special case later. Okay, because right now the feature is only released for new campaigns. So campaigns that you create from this point in time. Everything that has been created before doesn't have the new feature. And but within probably 1 month or something like that, we are going to release a new feature that is converting all the old ones.
Great.
But only the old ones from the new editor.
Yes.
The old editor not. Like the old editor is so old, we forget about that.
Yes, it's bad. It's
please don't use campaigns from the old editor anymore.
Start switching. Yes,
it's just a headache for you.
I have plenty of people that are still using the old editor, and I highly advise you to switch over. Yeah. I think we will switch that off soon.
Just.
No, well, that's not my decision. Pat wants to know from earlier episodes of the Co-Pilot show. Now, Pat didn't specifically say, but Mitch has always said, I hate widgets, right? Pat wants to know if I'm changing my tune. The reason I suggest to people when they're starting out not to use a widget is that it is typically confusing, and it's one of the major reasons why things break, because some people don't understand enough about testing to be able to make sure that it absolutely works in every case on their existing website when they use the widget. So my recommendation has always been use the UpViral hosted landing pages for your campaigns, use a custom domain so that it looks like it's on your domain, and don't mess with the widget. Take the widget as an advanced feature. Now, there are plenty of people that are highly technological and they understand the widget and they go, I'd rather use a widget, which I'm okay with. I've had clients do it, but at the same time, I've also had clients that tried to implement a widget. And I specifically have one client who I spent 3 hours trying to debug because the widget and the UpViral weren't talking properly. And I said, look, I'm just going to build this as an UpViral page. I built it in less than an hour, and we went that way as opposed to using the widget because the widget was just a problem with his website.
It's just not the point. Like, you can sell if you have it hosted. This doesn't make it like way better. So rather use something working that it's easier to set up in the beginning, and then you're successful if you're a beginner. And then you get advanced, you can make it more complicated.
Exactly. Thank you, Danny. Now, the other thing that I typically do when people want to use a widget is that I tell them, hey, don't use the widget like Danny has right here with the pop-up. What I suggest that they do is they use the opt-in form of the front of the widget. Instead of using the widget side of it, I tell them to do the pop-up or the standard form, because all you want is a form, right? The name and the email, whatever you're asking for. You don't need it to be the widget on the opt-in page. And I know I'm getting really kind of advanced.
Yeah, maybe also a bit confusing for some.
but it is, especially now in the new world, since all these are unified, it is fairly easy to take a form to like a WordPress page and drop the form in there. It's not the widget, so you don't have to worry about a lot of things, but the opt-in form is fairly easy to implement. And then the user ends up on the sharing page hosted by UpViral. And now it's easy peasy, especially if you're using a custom domain. All right, so hopefully that explains
now I think we
to Pat.
Yeah, but now let's focus only the questions that are concerning that, because I will tackle probably a few of the questions along the way, because we not have long to go. But is there something that is just related to the topic right now?
Well, they're all related to the topic right now, technically. So let me just keep going. Helmet wants to know, are we talking about a WordPress widget? No, we're not. It's not a WordPress widget. What we're talking about is an embedded. If you were using HTML blocks, if you're using WordPress blocks, what you would do was grab an HTML block and take the UpViral widget code and put it in the HTML block. So it's not a WordPress widget.
Yeah.
And it's not an Elementor widget.
You always take the code and implement it into your page. In any case, in case of Elementor, WordPress, and so on.
So Amir's question, can you do a custom domain on a hosted campaign? Absolutely. That's what I preach all the time. You should be using a custom domain on every UpViral campaign you do. We've talked about that in the Copilot show multiple times. AJ wants to know how many cups of coffee I had. I don't drink coffee. Thank you, AJ. How about if I clone the existing? The clone is the same thing as the old campaign. It's not creating it as a new campaign. So no, you have to create it as a new campaign.
Yeah, it's like like files in Word. Like if you have it in Word 97, it stays in Word 97. If you have it in new Word, it's a new Word.
All right. So Pat,
someone still understands that.
Yeah.
It's so old.
It is true. Anyway, so Pat, I think I answered your other question. Kiki, can you show again how to get the selection for the widget or the page again? So we haven't actually shown the new one yet. So do you want to go do that?
That's what I want to go on, right?
Okay.
But do we have tackled now, I think? Like, yeah, probably.
Let's just do that so they understand that part.
Okay, so let me find my point. Yeah, so I created here a new campaign. So that's actually the viral email list boost. That's one of our
hold on,
campaign
Danny.
templates.
Danny, all I see is your drawing.
I didn't change the.
Thank you, sir.
View. Here it is. So I created a new campaign. Just selected a template, a campaign template, which is the viral email list boost. And then I launched the campaign. That's everything I did.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you, Danny, just to be clear. The new UpViral template. So if you go into the dashboard and you do create, I'm sorry?
We can show that.
Okay. If you do create new campaign, those all work the new way. Go ahead.
Yes. And then I selected here the viral email list boost and created a new campaign.
Right. All right.
But I take the created one because then it's quicker.
Right.
And everything is already in there. So there are already rewards set up, like sharing and actions, the shared messages there. And also the page is already designed. So the opt-in page and the share page. And you can see here, as I said again, the code. If you click on, or the URL of the hosted campaign.
Right.
And if you click on that, you see the hosted campaign. So that is the campaign hosted by UpViral. So the version that is hosted by UpViral. But now you say, okay, now I created that campaign, but now I want to implement it into my page. I'm not like, either I want to do it in addition to that hosted campaign, or I don't need this hosted campaign and I just want to implement it into my page. Then you just don't care about this hosted campaign. You just forget about it. And you embed it into your page. How does that work? So the ones of you who are familiar with UpViral would maybe notice that installation is missing here in the left navigation. And it's now here. If you click on publish, just like in WordPress, you'll find a new page. There are old things there, like the hosted campaign link, which is what I just showed you, which is also up here. and the one-click sign-up. We're not going to talk about this, but this is the interesting part here, the embed campaign into your web page. So if you want to do that, you just click on this button here, and then it opens a section for embedding this campaign into your page. And now with you have the settings on the left. On the right side, you have already the preview of your real campaign. Or like this is the preview of the real campaign. This is like the preview like in the editor. If you're in the editor, it's the same view. And there you can select several things. So first, you're doing the settings for the opt-in widget. So for the opt-in part. And there you can select 3 options, either standard, which is like you implement it directly into the page. So you have your content around, and then somewhere is the rectangular space where you enter the UpViral campaign. Then you can do it as a pop-up. That pops up on your web page where you embed it and has the campaign in it. And then you can also do an HTML form. And no, I'm not the HTML form. That's just a video of me. That's a video explains what the HTML form is, because the HTML form is actually something you cannot have a look at because it's only code. That's the most complicated version of implementing it.
I will disagree with you on that statement.
Okay,
it's simple.
But we will. Okay, it's simple, but we will get to that in the end.
Right.
Right now, we're just looking at this super standard version with no special settings and how to do that. So you can set here what the width of that widget should be on your page. So 50% would be like 50% of the container where you put it in. So if you select an HTML container in WordPress or in Elementor or wherever, or if you code the page yourself and you make a div, and then you put the code in there, then it's 50% of that space. Right. Or you can also do pixels if you prefer that, but then it gets very narrow with maybe like 400. And then you can also see the alignment. So you now have everything in the preview. That's new. We didn't have that before, so I really love it. And then when you set up your opt-in part, you can go. No, I did something wrong. I'm still not used to the Apple mouse. So was a Windows user before.
Blame Apple. There you go.
Yeah. So when you have set up your opt-in widget, then you go to the share part. And there you have 2 options. So some of you might remember if you implement a widget into your page, and then you go onto that page where you implemented it, and then you see your campaign in there on the page, and you enter your name and your email address and you sign up. Then it could be the case that the share page appears right then and there where the opt-in was. So it's just like it's a piece of paper and it turns around and then you see the share page. This is the option number 1. So if you select that, you will stay on the same page, and just instead of the opt-in form, you will see your share page. You have another option here. You can redirect the user to a different page where your share widget is embedded. So you have one page where your opt-in widget is, and then you have a different page where your share widget is embedded. So that's like, you also have a different domain there than on top. If you select that option, you can make the widget look differently. So you can make it smaller or bigger in this case. Makes sense now. That was also not possible before.
Right.
But you can do that now.
I hadn't thought about that.
Why if there are different sizes? I don't understand. What if there are different sizes? I don't understand the
So Steve's question is, and I'm going to jump back just a second because you said it's a different domain. You said the word domain as opposed to URL. It's a different URL. between the opt-in page and the share page. I'm just clarifying it. You don't have to apologize. But Steve's question is, with the widget, you can specify how much of a section that it will take up. And so you can adjust where the widget fits inside wherever you're embedding it. And that's what he's showing with those options there.
Yeah. And it can be different for both. It can be different for the opt-in widget and for the share widget in the case you have a second.
And that's what Steve's question was. You can have them different sizes. That was not possible before.
And what you should not forget is to enter the URL there where you implemented your widget. Yeah.
Yes.
Because otherwise, it just redirects into nowhere.
It's got nowhere to go.
Yeah. So don't forget to set that.
Jeff, the answer is yes. You can send it anywhere you want within reason. We could talk about that later. Let me talk about that later. But you can actually have your widget on multiple domains if you want to.
Then next step is the referral traffic. So if you have now 2 campaigns, maybe we enlarge that. Do you see that here? Oh, no.
Yeah.
The responsiveness works against me.
Yes.
So in the first line, you have the hosted by a viral campaign. And this has an opt-in page and also a share page. When you opt in, so when you enter your details, you get redirected to the share page. That's clear, right? So then we go into the second line. There we have the embedded widget, which is the campaign that you implemented into your page. And there, if you enter your details, you get redirected either to a different page where you have implemented your share widget, or it stays on the same page and then you see the share page instead of the opt-in one. But now if someone shares the unique invite link, so someone is a participant in your campaign and he shares with his friend the unique invite link. So that's the link where referrals come from.
Right.
And that's the link that is generated when you click on a share button. Huh? So this is the thing that you would give your friend, say, this is awesome, go there. And he clicks on that link and then he arrives on the opt-in page.
Correct.
Yeah, but on which opt-in page? Should he arrive on the opt-in page that is hosted by UpViral, or should he arrive on the opt-in page that is embedded onto your page?
Great question.
And this one you can select here. So the first option is that everyone who clicks on this link gets redirected to the opt-in page that is hosted by UpViral. And if you click on this one here, everyone gets redirected to the page where you embedded your opt-in page. But again, make sure, because we cannot find that out technically, it's impossible.
You're not clairvoyant?
Due to strict reasons, it's impossible. Test.com. Yeah. Here is your opt-in widget implemented, and make sure to type in that thing, because otherwise it doesn't work.
Now, I want people to jump up and down because they're not excited about this yet. But I want to highlight, when I figured this out, my heart almost stopped. The idea that you could, if you want, with this new feature, is something we've asked for a long time. And that is the ability to decide where your referred traffic is going, which is what Danny's highlighting here. Think about sending your direct traffic to your opt-in page. Let's suppose that you leave it right there, but let's suppose you send people to the top one, right? You send all your direct traffic to the top one, which is hosted on UpViral, and you simply say, hey, win this thing. It's a very simple page. Everybody that's coming in that you know is highly targeted traffic for your campaign. But the question then always is, well, what about the referrals? I share this out on Facebook and the people coming in could be absolutely stone cold traffic. Well, if you do something like this, where you send them to a different page, where you have an opt-in widget, for example, like the diagram shows right now, you could have a completely different look and feel to that page. It could say, hey, I see you're referred. You probably want to know more about this product that I'm offering in my contest. And you give them 5,000 pages of words, and you can explain to them differently. So this is a really key feature that changes the game. This is the part that really gives me goosebumps, because now you can have 2 pages to send your people to. One page for the warm and hot traffic, another page for the cold traffic. Game changer. None of the other tools do this. Johan says, okay. I just got goosebumps too. All right, nice. So this is a big freaking deal right here. 2 pages for one campaign. Kiki's jumping up and down. Chad says, yay, this is sick. And I agree.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to understand, because
it is not for the newbies. It's not for the newbies.
Why this is so awesome. But yes. Like if you're building something truly sophisticated, that's really good.
Yes, Jeff. Tim says, awesome.
So Claudia this can be an additional page on my WordPress site.
Yes, it could.
Yes.
Sure. So you can warm up cold traffic, Claudia says. Yes. Big game changer here.
So, but there's also another part.
What?
But we got to finish that first, and we need to speed up a bit. I see there's some questions.
We got 20 minutes.
Totally save the whole chat and like go through it afterwards, promise.
Yes, but
sure. We have to save the time. So you get to the installation. There you have your code where you can copy. And you also have a manual test here. So that's like you enter your website, but it basically just opens your website and you check whether it's installed correctly. If you did that, you can click yes here and then it will become green. But it's not a technical test. It's just a manual test to remind people to test it. Again, we cannot test that technically. So there's no technical way that we can test it in any case automatically, whether you implemented it correctly. So you really have to go to your own page and look whether it's displaying there correctly.
Right.
Okay, now there's another problem, and no one asked this, but you will definitely bump into it if you are going to use it. Because some of you might, maybe someone thought already about it, but what if you use the same campaign as a hosted by Viral campaign, but you also embed it into your own page, but you don't have that much space on your page. And you have a huge title on the hosted by Viral campaign, and it's like goes over the whole page. And then you want to implement the same thing into your page, and then you have that huge title and maybe a big picture that you don't want to have there. What do you do then? Like,
what
it's like
do
the same
you do?
thing, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Yes.
And
this was actually my first question when I was beta testing, right? You remember me, I was in a panic. I'm like, wait a minute. So go ahead.
Okay. So for this, we go into the editor. So we have here both pages. And you will actually like it because you have now more possibilities other in other directions, but you will soon understand.
This is juicy, folks. Pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
Sound effects.
Sounds. So you guys probably know these two things here, desktop and mobile. These are the two ways of displaying the campaign.
Yes.
But there's now a third one.
Don't call me.
There's a third one now. There's the widget. So woohoo! You have also responsiveness for the widget. That's nothing special in itself, but I'm going to show you the special thing now. We have a big title here. And this is probably way too big if you want to embed it into a small space on your website. Then this title would be like in 3 lines and like cover your whole widget, and then it would look like shit. So we want to use that smaller title here. that actually fits on a widget. So if I go there, you see that's really big. That would even be bigger, yeah. Or if you have a large picture, you maybe don't want to have that here. I make it a bit bigger to stress that. So it's big like that, and you're like, I don't want to have this big thing here because here it's totally fine because it's the whole page, but here that's too much. I want to only have this one here. How do you do this then?
I don't know, Danny. How?
Oh my God, you know, don't lie. So you go onto this text here and you select it. And now here on the top, you see hide on widget.
Wow, that's new.
So you can hide that element here only on the widget. So
well, then how do I see it if I hide it?
Yeah, wait a second.
Oh,
so
wait.
we've hidden it. Now it's gone. I save it just to make sure. It's now hidden. We only see the small title. And we're taking some time here.
Yeah, fix that, will you?
Yeah, we are working on this, but this is probably the internet connection because I'm like streaming everything in all directions right now. If I go back to the desktop, it's still there.
Yes.
But on the widget, it's invisible.
Woohoo!
And if you want to see it again,
there you
see
go.
Here, show objects hidden.
Yeah.
If I enlarge my screen, you can also read that. Show objects hidden on the widget. And if I select that, you see it again. So it's again there. It's still hidden. That's very important. It's still hidden because this is just like a switch to find all the hidden elements to be able to click again on them and make them visible again in case you need that. And you click on show on widget and then it's displayed again on the widget. But we don't want to do that because we want to have it hidden here. And then on the desktop, we want to get rid of this small title here. If I would delete it, I would also delete it on the widget. So I click just on hide on desktop, and now this is gone on the desktop. Woohoo! And probably many of you already, it might click and you thought, now I can have a completely different website on mobile.
Yeah.
Because on mobile, you can put a different picture there and only display it on mobile and hide it on the other ones. You can put a different text there. So you can, this is not only about adjusting to the widget, it's also about, you can adjust it to mobile, you can adjust it to desktop, you can adjust it to widget. And you can like dynamically change your campaign for all the 3 views without creating 3 pages, which is way less work.
Yeah. Shamal's excited.
Oh my God, that's we just get many questions here.
All right, are you wanting to do questions?
Let me see.
Because I gotta go. We got 20 minutes.
And let's go for questions we got 20 minutes.
Right.
But he said 50 minutes. We have
he wants us out of here. He wants us out of here. I apologize. My math did not work. We have about 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay.
So Gabriel's
5 minutes questions, 5 minutes questions, 5 minutes rest. Okay.
All right. Gabriel's question. Do we see a performance difference between UpViral hosted and Shopify hosted? It depends upon Shopify and everything else. UpViral's really freaking fast. Kiki
and
wants
we're even working on making it faster.
Yes.
And what you guys didn't notice, maybe, we are now more stable with huge campaigns. So if you have a huge campaign, and if you ever manage to get 100,000 leads onto your campaign, like 10,000, 100,000, and like everyone is going crazy,
woohoo!
It will stay stable.
Great.
Everything will work. No delays. Everything
All
great.
Right. Kiki's question. I'm trying to get through these really fast. How do you take a WordPress page and copy it into UpViral? You don't. Copy pastes. I mean, you're not trying to bring WordPress over into UpViral. Hopefully, don't do that.
It's even technically impossible.
Yes.
So we couldn't even build that without buying WordPress, the whole company.
Yeah. Philip has a question about Zapier. we're not going to get to that right now, Philip, because we've got a time limit.
Sorry.
I know you said you're working with support. Keep working with support on that. Dory wants to know, when using a custom domain, do you configure it during using Cloudflare? If you want to use Cloudflare, my answer is yes. I use Cloudflare for everything. You don't have to necessarily use Cloudflare for that. Kiki's question is the redirect after the share. Yes. Let's see. AJ's question. I'm going to give you this question when I send you the thing, because AJ's question is really long, and I love AJ. AJ's a good friend of mine. We're going to get that answer, from Danny. In which case, Gabriel's question, in which case would you use a referral link that is different than the widget URL? I think we explained that one coming up. If you don't get it, we'll talk about it. I think next week's going to be I don't know. I think it's going to be a Q&A week next week. Jeff asked, if I choose a custom domain, will the custom domain be the option page hosted by UpViral? That's too complicated. We're not going to answer that. I'm trying to be fast. Darmood's excited. He says, brilliant. All right, Shamal's questions. And this is one I don't think I've actually tested. Does UpViral show the conversion rate across the different pages? Does UpViral think of it as a split test? If you're doing a widget on somewhere and an HTML.
Doesn't separate it.
But will I be able to see that on the split test? Yes, no.
On the split test, yes.
Okay, so we are.
Yeah, so, but you don't see like a page is not a page that is embedded and a page that is hosted. Like a page is always both. Like if you create a page or a campaign, then it's like you have the same page, but then you look at it from the view that you have embedded it, and then you look at it from the view that you have hosted it. But it's always the same page and the same leads log in there. So it's always the same thing. You just have a different perspective of looking at it, whether it's embedded or whether it's hosted, but it's the same thing. So there is no separated reporting. There's no separated setup. Like everything is the same. No separate leads and separate, like everything is in the same thing.
Okay, so Shamal's question, I totally get it now. Thank you for that explanation, Danny. And so in terms of what Shamal's thinking about doing, and Shamal's one of my friends that's a really advanced guy like me, in terms of using UpViral, you can't, so if you took a page and you created a split test, you could have your theoretical version of the opt-in being an UpViral thing versus the second one being the widget, but UpViral is going to show them split test. It's a real split test. So the real answer to Shamal's question is no. Really, the way he's thinking about it. He wants to be able to see on the split test page, the hosted page, and then a second one being the widget to see how those two things are. And we can't do that.
No, that's not how we intend to make a split test. The split test should be you test two different contents, and then both contents are tested on the embedded and also in the hosted. Right.
So Jeff's question, can this feature also address the affiliate request by placing the affiliate link in the widget area? No.
I don't know what this has to do with that feature.
It has a lot to do with this feature. Yeah. Because I know this question comes up a lot. People want to be able to take, and I talked to you about this, and maybe it didn't quite sink in, but maybe what I want to do is to take a widget, a specific widget, and hand it to Joe, who's an affiliate, and Joe get credit for everybody that comes in via that link, like the referral link. But also his affiliate link. And we can talk about that.
Referral link. Yeah.
Yes, we can talk about that, but that's not what we got here.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is no.
Okay, guys. So 5 minutes are over. We only have 5 minutes to go. So let's go through the rest real quick, because otherwise we didn't tackle that. So let me go out of here. So the thing we still have to talk about is old and new campaigns, so that you guys don't get confused. And it's like, why is the new feature not showing up? So every campaign you create from now on, from the time of today, is a new campaign. And each of these new campaigns has that new feature. Every campaign that was created before doesn't have that feature. It has still the old installation page with the old ways of installing. And it has 2 campaign types, and you have to choose. You can have both. We are building on a feature to convert these old campaigns into new ones, and then you can have the new feature also for the old campaigns. But this will not come out in the next week or so. We will probably need a month, or maybe, like, I just saying a month, and then we see, but no promises. Okay. I can't give you the exact date here. And but every campaign that is done with the old editor has nothing on that, and will never get it. And I would rather say you take this campaign, create it from new in the new editor, then you have more possibilities, much more awesome, then you have all the features, and then you just get rid of this old one and don't use it anymore. That's my recommendation.
I agree.
Then next point, we have to speak about the special cases here.
Okay.
If I go to the publish page, now my internet is slow again. I got kicked out. Thank you.
It did that to me this morning too, by the way. Kicked me out.
Yeah, honestly, we are working on that, but we didn't find the cause yet.
Okay.
The developers on it, it's very strange. So if anyone has a hint on that, why that happens, then please share. Yeah, it's not, if you don't, like, if you search but you don't find it, it's like searching a needle in a huge, I don't know, that was a German saying, and I tried to translate it, doesn't work. Okay, concentrate again. So we open the campaign, go to the publish page. We still had 2 other options of embedding. So you had the pop-up option, and you have the same pop-up properties that you had before. And also here you can select whether you want to refresh it inside the pop-up. So if someone signs up to your campaign, pop-up has opened, in the same pop-up he sees the share page. If you do this, then he will be redirected to a different page where he sees the share page. I don't know whether this makes sense, but or whether it's like really a case that is like used very often, but it's possible. Referral traffic is the same, and also the installation, but just because of a pop-up, you have also a link that you have to put for opening it. So that this link you would also paste for a button, or this in this case, it's a hyperlink that you can open this pop-up, because otherwise it doesn't come around. Okay, and the last option was the HTML form. And an HTML form is a way, if you already have an existing page, or you have built an opt-in form somewhere else. You said before WordPress, right? And you want to use that, and you don't want to change it. And then you can use the HTML form code and like use it there. And then you can use UpViral together with an existing form, and it still looks like your page it was before. So you have your page on WordPress with a form, and UpViral is just like a thief behind it and takes all the data out of your form when someone enters it, but you don't see it. It's invisible. And that's why here is no preview, because no opt-in form exists. But as soon as someone entered the data into your page, and UpViral has like taken out the data of your form, and saved it, the users will be redirected to the second page, which is the share page. So in this case, you have two options. Either you can redirect them to the hosted version of your share page. So you go now from the embedded campaign to the hosted campaign, or you can redirect them to a different page where you again have embedded your share page. Yeah, and that's probably it. You have the installation at the end. It's just the same, just the explanation is a bit better. And yeah, we went now through all the premium features. Yeah, all the premium features, not premium, all the advanced features. And yeah, I see probably there are some questions open, and I'm really sorry that I cannot answer all of them. We really have to bounce now. So
yes. Well, let me take go ahead. You finish and I'll answer two questions really fast. Okay.
So I would say we just answer them in the next Q&A.
Okay.
And,
wait.
And go on from
the
there.
answer, Chad, is yes, it's implemented now. Christine, the answer is I don't think so, but Connectio has the tool to make that happen called Connect Leads, which integrates with UpViral. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Danny, thank you so much for implementing this. It is freaking awesome.
You're welcome. Thanks, everyone, for being here.
And when we have a Q&A session, we can answer many more of these and go through some scenarios if you want. Next week, I have no idea what the show is. We got to go because our good friend William needs this channel. So we'll talk to you guys next week. Thank you. Thanks, Danny.
Have a great time.